Sophie Lloyd's musical journey is nothing short of extraordinary, marked by a progression from playing Avenged Sevenfold covers in her teenage band to sharing the stage with global pop-punk icon Machine Gun Kelly. The pinnacle of her success came during a show in August 2022 at the First Energy Stadium in Ohio, a moment that crystallized her realization that she was on the right path. Playing guitar for Machine Gun Kelly in front of 41,000 people, Sophie found herself in a surreal situation when 4 fans were brought on stage, and one of them gifted her a cap, creating a memory she cherishes to this day. YouTube roots and real-life stardom. Sophie Lloyd represents a new wave of guitarists who leveraged YouTube as a launchpad for their careers. Her journey, shaped by covers, original compositions, tutorials, and a charismatic personality, garnered her a substantial following of 869,000 subscribers. What makes Sophie stand out is her seamless transition from the digital realm to the real-life grandeur of arenas. Critics may argue she hasn't paid her dues in the traditional sense, but Sophie contends that success on YouTube is far from easy. Emphasizing the dedication and countless hours of practice that preceded any financial gain from her channel, Sophie asserts that evolving with the changing times is essential for success. Seated in her living room, flanked by her cats Luna and Jax and boyfriend Chris Painter, Sophie exudes a friendly confidence reminiscent of her YouTube persona. She addresses the old-school gatekeepers who question her journey, acknowledging the unconventional path she took, but dismissing the notion that it undermines her dedication or skill. Her story is not just about achieving success, it's about evolving with the times and inspiring the next generation of creators. A musical upbringing, an unlikely inspiration. Sophie's journey into heavy music traces back to her father, a data scientist who exposed her to the sounds of Rory Gallagher, Joe Bonamassa, Led Zeppelin, and Black Sabbath during car rides. While she initially dabbled in classical guitar lessons at the age of 9, it was an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants that set her on the path to electric guitar. Recounting the amusing origin of her musical journey, Sophie laughs, "People have these really cool backstories, and I'm like, mine was an episode of SpongeBob." The episode featuring Twisted Sister's I Wanna Rock struck a chord, and Sophie knew she wanted to play electric guitar. As she fell in love with the instrument, Sophie's musical tastes expanded to include emo and punk, blending with admiration for guitar virtuosos like Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. However, her distinctive style and musical preferences made her an outlier in her genteel hometown of Henley-on-Thames, Oxfordshire. Dressed as a proper rocker, complete with black-dyed hair under sides and studded bracelets, Sophie felt like an outsider, lacking companions to share her passion for heavy music. Loneliness and the birth of creativity. Henley-on-Thames may not have embraced Sophie's rocker aesthetic, but it became the backdrop for a crucial period of solitude that shaped her artistic identity. While her peers engaged in typical teenage social activities, Sophie spent her lunch breaks in the school's music room and dedicated evenings to practicing songs. Between the ages of 13 and 17, she experienced a sense of isolation. Reflecting on this period, Sophie remarks, "It was kind of like a dark time, I guess. But at the same time, you look back and you're like, I'm so grateful that happened." Because that's where my inspiration and creativity really grew. During these formative years, Sophie joined her first band, The Hidden Truth, through the online platform joinmyband.com. Their repertoire included covers of bands like Chelsea Grin, Parkway Drive, Avenged Sevenfold, and Black Veil Brides. Despite acknowledging that they were awful, Sophie fondly remembers this time as her introduction to the camaraderie of fellow musicians and the joy of making music collectively. Educational crossroads and a leap of faith. Sophie's aptitude for science earned her a scholarship to study forensic science at Sussex, a promising academic path. However, just before embarking on this journey, a feeling that something was amiss prompted her to make a bold decision. In a snap choice, she applied to BIM London, a music school where she would spend the next 4 years honing her craft. This period posed its challenges, with academic pressures and a tumultuous relationship that hindered her pursuit of the music she loved. Her dedication to academic excellence led her to study genres like gypsy jazz, which, while valuable, felt like a departure from her true passion for metal. A pivotal moment occurred when she broke free from a restrictive relationship, leading her to therapy, antidepressants, and a change in mindset. Rather than fixating on academic performance, Sophie channeled her newfound freedom into her rock playing and managed to secure a first. Sophie reflects on this transformative period, saying, "Although they felt like some of the worst times, I was sort of born again. Sorry, that got a bit deep." This period of self-discovery and resilience laid the foundation for her distinct sound and style. The YouTube era and unfiltered connection. Embracing the rise of YouTube, Sophie launched her channel in 2012 at the age of 16, initially hoping to connect with like-minded individuals. Balancing her channel while working at a dessert restaurant called Creams, Sophie found inspiration from early YouTubers like Andy James, guitarist of Sacred Mother Tongue, now in Five Finger Death Punch, and general creators like Dennis Notenfire and Amazing Phil. For Sophie, YouTube was more than showcasing her guitar skills. It was about relatability. In addition to shredding covers from Iron Maiden to Dua Lipa, Sophie opened up about various aspects of her life, from pedals to performance anxiety. Her authenticity shone through, especially during her MGK tour, where she shared vulnerable moments, lying in bed, crying, feeling nervous, and experiencing homesickness. Sophie's intention was clear: to break down the facade of perfection often associated with social media and reveal the human side behind the artist. The leap to the mainstream, joining Machine Gun Kelly's tour. While Sophie had experienced the camaraderie of small gigs with The Hidden Truth, university bands, and her last venture, Marisa and the Moths, nothing prepared her for the magnitude of Machine Gun Kelly's tour. A chance message to MGK 2 years prior expressing her availability as a guitarist resulted in a FaceTime meeting and a rapid learning process of his songs within a month. Admitting to initial fear and uncertainty about this departure from her YouTube world, Sophie took a leap of faith, guided by her life mantra: what would make the best story? The transition from YouTube fame to a global tour was not without challenges. Imposter syndrome, a nagging doubt about her unconventional journey, lingered. Sophie acknowledges these feelings, saying, "I was like, I've come through this such unique avenue. Do I deserve to be at this level when I haven't gone that traditional route?" However, as soon as she stepped on stage for the first date in Austin, Texas, any lingering doubts dissipated. Sophie recalls the moment with a smile. "I was like, oh my God, this is what I'm meant to be doing." The tour became a defining chapter in her career, proving that success can be achieved through diverse paths. Navigating scandal and maintaining resilience. Sophie's public presence faced an unexpected test when baseless rumors circulated about her involvement with MGK, supposedly jeopardizing his relationship with actress Megan Fox. In response, Sophie and her boyfriend retreated to her parents' house, seeking respite from media scrutiny. Megan Fox, in a surprising turn of events, stepped in to dispel the rumors and commend Sophie's talent. Reflecting on this surreal experience, Sophie expresses a mix of exclamation and disbelief. "Yeah, that was wild. I never thought I'd be in some sort of internet scandal." She laments the stereotyping that occurred simply because she was a girl in the band, emphasizing that she was merely doing her job. This episode underscored the challenges women in the industry continue to face and the importance of dispelling stereotypes. Musical Evolution, Imposter Syndrome album. Amid the chaos of the pandemic, Sophie and her boyfriend Chris embarked on a creative journey, working on her debut album, poignantly titled Imposter Syndrome. Following her Satriani-influenced instrumental Delusions EP in 2018, this album marks a significant evolution in her musical expression, Collaborating with guest vocalists, including her former bandmate Marisa, Nathan James from Inglorious, and Trivium's Matt Heafy, Sophie describes the album as a full circle experience. The album is so full circle. I've gone from being scared to even do a live performance online. That's why I started my Twitch in 2021 to try and start doing live stuff to feel less like an imposter, to playing Wembley Arena live. It's a cool story. This sentiment encapsulates Sophie's journey from self-doubt to headlining iconic venues. The vision ahead, bringing shred guitar into the mainstream. Looking toward the future, Sophie plans to tour Imposter Syndrome next year, continuing her online presence through YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon. In an era where artists need multiple revenue streams to survive, she envisions a mission to bring shred guitar into the mainstream. Beyond her musical endeavors, she harbors a long-term goal of opening an animal sanctuary reflecting her deep love for animals. Closing the conversation, Sophie expresses gratitude for the opportunity to reach and inspire people, especially young women. She emphasizes, "Everything I do with the thought of my 15-year-old self watching. I want to make that depressed little metalhead child happy and make her smile." In essence, Sophie Lloyd's journey is a testament to the power of authenticity, resilience, and embracing unconventional paths. From the isolation of her teenage years to the global stages with Machine Gun Kelly, Sophie's story resonates as a source of inspiration for aspiring musicians and a reminder that success can be defined on one's terms. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.